There are two complementary cultural phenomena in our midst these days. The first is the sudden rise, if you will, of zombies. Vampire and zombie movies, TV shows, video games related products. Now, vampires have been with us since the cave days, since people sat around fires scaring the bejesus out of each other. Count Dracula, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde are all staples of world literature, as they rightly deserve to be. Their writers were superior. The characters and tales play into basic basic human fears and complexities. And part of you, maybe Mother Teresa or Nelson Mandela, but lurking just around the corner, is a blood-sucking monster wanting to spring out of the moat. Still, why now? Why such a proliferation and obsession with the undead and all their ghoulish counterparts? Why zombies? Remember back in '68 when an obscure filmmaker, George A. Romero, made a movie called Night of the Living Dead for about $170,000 in Pittsburgh, of all places? That movie made millions, and he was given tons of money to get out of black and white and make color movies. So at the top of the entertainment list these days are stories about soulless, selfish devourers of other people. Now let's look at the second cultural phenomenon, which I think is deeply related. Sitting down, can you guess it? Texting. Everywhere you go, you see texting. It's the commercial success of the ages. I think it eclipses the story of Jesus, Coca-Cola, TV sets, maybe even Prozac and Ritalin. Mostly young women, there are young men also, but mostly young women are convinced they cannot walk down the street without, or cross a busy intersection, or sit in a restaurant or a cafe or classroom without exchanging these terribly urgent, important messages with their friends and family. And you know who they look like to me? Zombies. Parents are afraid to take their kids to a restaurant or a cafe without arming them with some video equipment of some sort or other. God forbid the family should actually sit down and engage in human conversation. My children are now in their 40s, and they tell me that very few families today sit down together and have dinner and talk about how the day went. Yeah, I know, I'm just a crazy old crank struggling to keep up with the world. Well, maybe there are some things up with which I don't want to keep. Pickle. Put the phone down for 5 minutes. I'm talking cellular. Try real life. Try noticing the actual world around you. Try, I know, how about engagement and conversation with those creatures called other human beings?